I have picked up this beautiful dress from an estate, and the first thing I have to do is guess the age. I immediately recognize the maker, Carly, which did dresses in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And they did like extremely feminine shapes and styles and details on their dresses. So I love finding Carly brand dresses. So this immediately tells me I'm looking at 40s through 60s. Now a look at these stitching. We're also looking at pre-1960s due to the stitching. And she has a metal zipper. So this is probably a 1950s dress. Now I personally know by looking at the label that it's actually early 50s, late 40s. But it's a safe guess to say 1950s when you see a metal zipper and seams like this. Video about part of my process when I pick up vintage and prepare it to sell. And I thought I would do a little video starting out about what I do to try to save dresses that are in this condition. Now this particular dress is a 1950s dress, and it's really pretty, but as you can tell, it's in poor condition. I would almost say that this is not a salvageable dress, but I thought I would give it a shot and see if I could get some of these stains out, because that skirt is just too pretty to not try to save it. So the first step, I'm going to apply stain treatment to the bigger spots. I use a mix that I have made up based off of a formula that a friend of mine gave me. So I have it in a little Shout spray bottle, but it's not actually Shout because Shout is a little too rough for some of these vintage pieces sometimes. So we're just going to spray it on directly onto it, which depending on the fabric, you may not want to spray directly onto the item. However, this one feels like a cotton blend, so I feel fairly safe in spraying. And I'm gonna actually really soak this. I've got a towel down so I can do this on my floor and record this video at the same time. I usually do this in my sink or my tub. So we're just gonna absolutely saturate this. And then I've got a little bowl here, and it's got an additional cleaning mixture in it. And I am going to just rub it into these spots and really rub it in there good. I'm going to do that to all of these spots, one by one. And I'm not going to record that because that would be tedious. So I have spot treated every spot on the skirt, which was quite a bit. And I'm going to let it sit for 10 to 20 minutes. The dress has soaked for 20 minutes with the stain treatment on it. And as I feared, it's not coming out completely, but it is much lighter, you can tell. So I am going to just try and soak it and rub it in again and give it another 10 minutes, see if we can get that to fade a little bit more. Now it's time for a soak. I am soaking it in my sink with a cleaning solution, the same one that I had in the bowl earlier. And it's important to kind of get it in there and rub in those spots a little bit more. Again, we're still just trying to get these massive stains out, but I'm going to let this soak for probably 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and then take a look at those stains again and see if there's anything else that I can do to them before I rinse it. The dress has soaked for 40 minutes, and this is what the water looks like. When the water is that brown, it is just simply either the dress was not cleaned for the last 70 years, which is always possible, or there was a smoker in the house, which is also possible, But as you can see, the dress is no longer ivory, it's white. We still have some spots. I am going to drain this, and we're going to soak it in a cleaning solution for another 30 minutes because that water is gross. We are now 45 minutes into a second soak with detergent, and she's looking much better. As you can see, the water's still a little bit tinged with brown, but nothing like it was on that first soak. So now I'm going to drain, and we're going to do another soak with no detergent, just water, just to make sure we get all of the detergent out of the dress. Okay, we have finished a 35, maybe it was 40-minute final soak. As you can see, there's lots of suds in here from the detergent, which is part of why I soaked it instead of just rinsing it. But now we're going to do a rinse under cold water. And then I'm going to hang it up to air dry. If the dress is extremely heavy material, you don't necessarily want to hang it because it could put a lot of pressure on the seams. And honestly, sometimes soaking it for a long time can also degrade like thread that's already in bad shape. But it's either that or we just call the dress a total loss. As you can see, we've still got some really dark spots on here, which is sad. But after 4.5 hours of work, that's the best I can do for now. All right, so I'm going to rinse it, and I'm going to hang it to dry, and then we will pick up from there. The dress has drip dried for 12-ish hours. And it needs a steam, so that's our next step. And on to the next step of prepping this dress to sell, which is steaming it. So I have a little handheld steamer. I got it off of Amazon. It was the best purchase I've made in a very long time. So I'm going to try to steam it and not lose those amazing pleats. She is fully steamed. I did about a 45-minute steam on it. I usually don't spend more than 45 minutes to an hour steaming, which is why you can sometimes still see wrinkles on my pieces. But I figure it's better to save the time it would have taken to additionally steam it and charge less for the dress and get it into someone's hands, rather than spend hours trying to get every little wrinkle out and then have to charge for all of that extra work. She's really beautiful. I'm going to now photograph it to list it online. I have photographed the dress, which includes trying to get full length shots, detail shots, shots of any of the flaws. The detail shots are the most important. It's hard to see when the dress is laid flat like it is in a lot of the video, but this dress has amazing little sheer lace panels in it that are like embroidered with tiny roses. It's really gorgeous and such amazingly detailed dress. The amount of work that went into this is extraordinary. Somebody put hours and hours into creating this beauty.